Yo, yo, yo. Thursday night, where else would you be? But the Dynasty Daddy will Best Ball Draft streams. What's up, Birds Builds? What's up, Big Diaz? See you guys in the chat. I cannot pull up the message. The first message I can pull up is Kyle. Yo, what is up? I am not late. You are early, but happy to have you. Let's get drafted. It's what a special night for the news wise for the Underdog Best Ball Draft stream, right? We got the Rashee Rice blurb. We can do a little like pre-convo about it before we get the Tuesday night stream with Jeremy talking about it. I'm sure that'll be the thumbnail. I'm gonna have to change the thumbnail though, because right now it's a picture of me and Jeremy laughing. So I don't know if Rashee Rice suspended will work too well with that, but I guess not officially suspended. But obviously, I don't know if you all saw the news break. It's I'm not going to pretend to understand the legal system, but the probation stuff with the 30 days jail time that is like within the next, what is it, 4 years? Is that it? Year or something? But obviously, the crux of that is the NFL having its own jurisdiction as far as handing out the suspensions. So that'll be interesting. I'm not moving Rice too much far down in Dynasty, but I think in best ball drafts, Worthy just has to get a bump and Rice just has to move down. I think I'd probably take him closer to the 4th or the 5th versus the 2nd, because I think if a suspension comes down, it's closer. It's going to be more early in the season than it is later. And obviously we care more about early in the season, but let's get into a draft. We got one right here. Bang. Quick, clean. How's everyone doing? Oh, I forgot to add everybody. Bang, boom. I've got everyone power now. I don't know if you guys have heard. You probably did hear last week when I added everybody. You guys get in the, I haven't checked the signups yet. We're going to do an announcement on Tuesday night for the stream the Best Ball League. Daddy Leagues. Ooh, let's go. Rookie draft on Saturday. Super excited. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Is it an in-person one? Or you do a slow clock? I will say the rookie drafts are the one Dynasty thing that I do like to try to force the in-person thing. But I will say that it is hard to do the oh, I gotta fix this. What's good? What's good? What's up, Go? What's up, Zeno? Right back at you. I'll be streaming it, and yeah, in person. Ooh, shoot. Wait, where do you stream it on? Is it on the channel that you're commenting on now? All right, we are at the 12 spot. Let me fix this overlay. Someone remind me at the end of the stream. Actually, no, don't. I can be a big boy. I can fix my own overlays before I start the stream. I gotta grow up, guys. We're professionals now. Sadly, a diff 1. All good, all good. Dude, let me know. Feel free to I mean, I don't know if you're streaming it as far as like just to the buddies that aren't able to make it or anything, but if you are like trying to get it out there, I'd love to check in on that. If you want to post it in the self promo portion of the Discord. What up, Birds Builds? Yeah, let us know. All right, what's the start we having? I will say that Will, third person reference already. We're only what, a couple minutes in, 4 minutes in. I have been liking. Ooh, I'd love some Amonra. All right, all good. I have not done too many. I actually do not have as much Gen T as I want to have. Should we do the double RB? The big testosterone? It is so hard to pass up on BTJ. Let's do BTJ just because I feel like this like 36, 37 spot here, there's been times where I've had like Breece Hall fall. I want to take one of the quarterbacks that falls. I've seen them fall. Like, it's really hard for me to pass on like Lamar Allen if they're there. And if I go running back, I just don't have the nards to do that. Oh, let's go. You and Case got in the same league? Okay, all right, all right. I'll take preferences. Yeah, let me know. Feel free to shoot me DMs or messages. Okay. Yeah, that's your Discord too, right? Speedrunning channel. Ooh, what do you speedrun? My speedrunning, I enjoy watching speedruns. The closest I've ever been to actually speedrunning a game. All right, Will's very good at Smash Bros. And Melee specifically, the GameCube one. And I did learn how to speedrun the first like 10 events. You guys ever do like the event modes? I could probably still do like 6 of them. COD Zombies. Okay, shoot. I haven't watched much. Honestly, Will was more of a Halo guy. Maybe I just say I from now on. You know what I think it is? I think I'm looking at my camera right here and the OBS that I'm running the stream for. I can see my face, and I think I'm in like. Maybe I just need to calm down. It's too early in the stream for me to be breaking down the thought process here. But I did play Modern Warfare 2 is probably the most COD Will has ever been. Just traded this year's 106 and 203 for the 104 and 207 this year. I'm a rebuilder, 10 team on QB at PPR. Thoughts right off the bat? I will say in 1 QB, I do like getting into that top 4, just because I do feel like there is. I don't want to say super significant, but especially for a rebuilding team, I don't care as much about hitting those running backs, which is who you would probably hit at that 106 spot, or you'd be trying to trade back to get like Igbuka or something. So getting in that top 4 and getting to take one of, and when I say the running backs, I'm not talking about Hampton Genty, and we're talking about that second tier of you're getting into, Travion Henderson at best. But yeah, I like that. I like being able to, you might be able to get both receivers. Maybe it goes RB, maybe not both receivers, but one of McMillan or Hunter. I'd be really happy with as a rebuilder. I like that. And the 203, I will say that I do like being in that early second range, but in a 1 QB, it's worse just because you're probably missing out on Golden. And I do like in Superflex, I like being in that early second just because I think Dart is a really good value. I think Golden goes in the early second a lot of the times, and you just rarely get a first-round receiver, regardless of how you feel about the prospect or the situation. Ooh, what's on the Birds Builds YouTube channel? What are you building? What is Birds building? Or Bird? Let's see the apostrophe. All right, we're coming up here on the turn. I can't stop myself from picking Josh Allen. I will happily do that. Like I said, I'd still hit running back. I have been cooling on Kyron a little bit. Okay, Allen goes. We'll see how far Rice falls. So we see this new blurb here. The ruling's been handled down. So it's 5 years probation, 30 days of jail time, which can be served during those 5 years. The league will bring down a punishment. My expectation is that it's like similar to kind of like a feel for like the JMO gambling stuff. Not situation wise, but so I am not. Ooh, I do think that this is like the earliest I would take Rice, but I'm not going to do that here. Hard for me to not. Is this where we take? Let's go Evans. And then I like Worthy, and I probably would also consider taking Worthy at this range. Oh, I do like Jane Daniels. Let's do this. I have really liked taking elite QBs, but I feel like, especially when I take like BTJ, and you look at like, where's T-Law go? T-Law goes 131. Look at who you're picking between at 131. You're on the clock and you're like, all right, should I take Marvin Mims, Javonte Williams, or Trevor Lawrence? And it's just like, man, I really wish I would have, taken a skill position player. So we went Genty. We'll go here, RB, hit the 3 wide receivers there, and we'll run the business. ADHD. Is that the answer? What are you building? We build a lot of stuff. Woodworking, 3D printing, Dynasty rosters, commercial. Okay. I'm down. That's sick. I'll check it out. 3 games I'm thinking. Yeah, it's interesting. It's tough just because that kind of like anything that's like jail time, like actual literal jail time, to me, in my mind, sparks for sure suspension. Like that just feels natural. Anything that is jail time, the probation stuff also. It is kind of like a weird situation though, where it's not like jail time in the sense of like they are being jailed immediately following like a quick ruling or something. Like it's kind of this weird like probation 30-day stuff. But I think my guess would be, if I had to put a number, I'd probably be closer to 6 than 3. And that kind of scares me just in Underdog specifically. But we see him go the 42 around. I mean, Jane Daniels at 43 is nuts. And stacked with Terry. That is nice. How are we feeling about Terry though? Are we worried about this Terry situation? I'm surprised signing has not happened yet. I have not. I have in college. I had a guy on my floor that was a big 3D printer. Shout out to Taylor. That was my first foray into even understanding what 3D printing even is. But I think it's sick. Is it like pretty much everything? I did have a I am not a big D&D guy, but I have done D&D before, and I did have somebody 3D print my big old boof half orc. That's the only thing I've gotten 3D printed in my life. Setting my rec for Daddy League. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, guys, if you're not, wait, maybe I still have this before the pick. Hello? Bang! Get in these Dynasty Daddy Leagues. $20 entry. It is right below the general channel in the main on the Discord. Discord is free to join, by the way, in the description if you're not in there. And we're going to keep these open probably through the end of the month and start the drafts early in August. Just so that, you know, commissions have time to set up the drafts and everything. But the form's super simple to fill out. And we'll add everyone, so there'll be some reminders and everything in probably next week's stream announcement. But definitely check that out. And while I'm here, please watch the video, guys. It is a banger. I was about to say it's not doing well. My brain goes to like self-conscious about my editing. But no, it is a good one. Highly recommend. And I don't need to show you this. You're here. But yeah, get in these leagues. All right. Bang. And we're back. Don't worry, we're not on the clock. This whole 30 days over 5 years is wild. I know. When I saw that, I was like, wow. I already knew I didn't understand the legal system. But I wonder if it just has to do with like, I know there wasn't any, I don't think there was any like major injuries that stemmed from it, but there could have been for sure. Oh, heck yeah. True. I always forget to do this. All right, we're on the clock here. Wow, I got jump scared by Xavier Legette. I was like, oh gosh. All right, we got the same bye week James Conner. I have been taking a lot of Olave. I kind of like, I like hitting at least one wide receiver here, and I like Olave more than Addison with the suspension scare, Godwin injury stuff, Juwan Jennings contract stuff. So I kind of want to take one of these running backs. Part of me wants to just say F it and go James Conner and then not be worried about bye weeks. But let's do this. I like Henderson pretty similarly to RJ Harvey, and I think the upside bet for a rookie towards the end of the season, I think pure fantasy points in the entire season, I would expect James Conner to score more than Travion Henderson straight up. So like outside of just the bye week stuff, like I would prefer Conner. But I do think when you think about bets that you're making and you're thinking about your roster heading into, you've won your pod, you're advancing in the playoffs, what running backs or just in general, what players do you wish you had on your roster? And I think it's like McMillan hitting his stride towards the end of the year, Travion Henderson eating a lot more into Ramondre's role versus, you know, James Conner, who was pretty healthy last season, but even last season towards the end of the year was hurt. Personally, I would have grabbed Henderson there if it's Dynasty. If it's redraft, definitely Olave. Yeah, it also is kind of unique because it's a half PPR site, Underdog, but you can start 3 Okay, I should never do that again. You can start 3 wide receivers. So there was some merit to hitting another wide receiver there. But I think running back does tend to dry up really quick. So you see right here, my next pick up here is 84-85. And this range of running backs that go around 84-85 is you're getting to the tail end of starters you feel comfortable with. I mean, obviously Judkins has fallen with a suspension pending, but we're already outside of this range. It's like Aaron Jones is like the last, okay, we feel great about the role that the player's going to have. I can talk myself into feeling good about Brian Robinson Jr. probably. But after that point, it's like suspension Judkins, Jordan Mason, like, yeah, like probably has a solid role. And like the goal line stuff is exciting to hear about, but I'm not confident. Same with Jalen Warren. I don't even need to talk to you about the Jags. I think one of these Giants picks will end up being really good. J.K. Dobbins I like, but I think as far as like running backs who you think can give you playoff winning upside in a week, it really falls off after like the mid 70s once you start getting into Tony Pollard. And I like Pollard, but still. But you did grab him on the turn, so discard my... Yeah, it is tough on the turn picks. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. As a Packers fan, Mason's a great pickup. Jones' injury concerns are real. I agree. Pretty healthy last season. I will say the only pushback I would have is Jordan Mason actually was the most recently injured of the two, specifically last season. But it's hard to argue against the amount of injuries we've seen with Aaron Jones. But I think even with how efficient Jordan Mason was in that Niners backfield, I think Aaron Jones carries more guy I want to have heading into a week upside than Mason by a decent margin, in my opinion. Post-draft, are you taking Hampton, Igbuka, Tootin, or Hunter, Igbuka, Quinshon? Ooh, I'm gonna get back to this. I'm about to pick here. Ooh, and it's a rebuild. Okay, interesting. All right, I like. Ooh, Jaden Reed goes. I do like my guy Josh Downs. Ooh, I kind of like hitting these two, honestly. Ooh, I do like Igbuka though. We could get Baker goes. Wow, 70. All right, let's not go Igbuka then, and we'll go Josh Downs. Aaron Jones, right? I've been taking a lot of Aaron Jones. We'll go Josh Downs, Aaron Jones. I probably would have gone Igbuka there if I felt like, what is? I guess Baker probably wouldn't have fallen. Probably would have had to have reached for him there. Goes to the Godwin drafter here. He would have taken him there anyways. I'm big on Downs. If it was any of their receivers, like any of these other players, like versus Pittman, Kupp, Ayuk, Mooney, I'm going Igbuka 100%. Downs is the only one I would have taken that over. I'll be right back. All right, I'll be waiting. I'll be awaiting your return. All right, here we go. So we got a rebuild. It's a rebuilding team. Post draft, you taking Hampton, Igbuka, Tootin, or Hunter, Igbuka, Quinshon. Especially in a rebuild, I'm probably going Hunter, Igbuka, Quinshon. It's tough to talk through preferring Quinshon Judkins right now. We see him go here at 91. It is tough when the suspension is expected, hasn't signed the rookie deal yet. There is like, you get like the Darius Geis fear of like it just being a total zero. But I think more likely than not, it's going to look like some sort of handful of game suspension this season or next, and you just hope the knucklehead, like terrible human factor, allegedly, situation gets figured out. But I will say, outside of that realm, it is hard for me to, because I see Hunter and Hampton pretty close to me, even though I would prefer Hampton. It's probably like 102, 103 for me, or 104, depending on your risk factor with McMillan. I like McMillan too. But it is hard to ignore second round draft capital. and prospect stuff, even though I'm excited about Tootin. Who the hell do I take at pick 7? Is this a rookie draft? You talking about your expectations were to be take Quinshon Judkins there? To me, it kind of depends on what you're feeling. I mean, I would like to trade back at pick 7 just because I feel like people would take their preference of the running backs. I'm a big Ibuka guy. I have not taken Ibuka at 7. I've traded back and taken him at the 109. But I think he probably has pushed himself up to 108, 107, especially with the Quinshon Judkins news. So I'd be fine taking him there. But if you feel confident, set at receiver, maybe you're a competing team and would rather have one of the running backs, I think that's totally fine. 10-man PPR. Ooh, only 2 wide receivers. Single QB. Okay, that makes it more interesting. So Cam Ward gets pushed down. So you're looking at Travion gone. Player's favorite running back. You're probably picking between like Caleb Johnson, one of Caleb Johnson, Harvey, Ibuka. I mean, depending on how your team is built. Oh, it's a redraft. Oh, I was yapping about rookie drafts. All right, I got you. 1 second here. I'll lock in. All right, I will say I have been a lot more willing to take Trey Harris, but maybe I kind of like doing this, and then we hit triple QB late and gross tight ends because we can still get Njoku, Kraft. I like the way this team's turning out. All right, J.K. Dobbins versus, I don't mind Scatabo, honestly, but I'm a lot higher on J.K. Dobbins for this season specifically than a lot of people. I think there's a real chance he leads that backfield in touches, or at least carries. All right, pick 7. PPR. 2 running back, 2 flex, and only have to start 2 wide receivers is really interesting. I feel like I probably would want to go running back, so I'd probably be aiming to take one of these. I could convince myself to take any of these running backs. I probably would take a wide receiver over CMC, but just because of the format specifically, you only having to start 2 wide receivers. I mean, you could like be confident and build out through the flex wide receiver and only have to start 2 running backs, but running backs just drives up so fast. And I feel like teams could talk themselves into taking a lot of running backs and you would be really behind the 8 ball. That's an interesting format. 2 flexes. I feel like usually it's like 2, 3, and then whatever number of flexes they want. I am really high on taking running backs in redraft early, even though in a lot of these best ball drafts I take receivers, just from the perspective of I feel confident in my ability to hit on like Ibuka late, Josh Downs, versus the range of running backs that go there. It's a lot harder to feel good about the redraft projection for those players. All right, here's the nice thing about like really hitting running back and wide receiver is right now, I mean, I feel like I can stop at receiver unless I really like somebody that's fallen. Like I like QJ a lot. I don't feel like I need to do that, but I've got some quarterback options I can hit. I'd honestly probably be fine going tight end, but I'm coming up here on 132. We're going to be looking at hopefully T-Law falling to us, depending on where the Hunter drafter is. Where'd the Hunter go? Wow, 52. We're falling there. He has taken Kyler, so if he doesn't go T-Law here, JJ goes. That's annoying. We could go double QB at this turn here. I would love to be able to hit like, I mean, we're not going to be able to hit Herbert. Someone's going to take Herbert here, but Herbert, I mean, maybe somebody takes Love. Getting to go like Herbert T-Law would be sick. Top 3 RBs will go. I'm stuck with Puka, Malik, etc. Yeah, I like Njoku. I like Njoku a lot. Especially, dude, really? That is so annoying. It's fine. All right, now I guess we just hope this happens. I get it if he stops at 2 quarterbacks, but it hurts a little bit more when he's taken Kyler already. Oh, okay. That makes okay. This just got a lot harder to land the plane. Jeez, man, I got absolutely aft on this QB round, but I just can't. I could have taken like Drake May or something. Just don't feel like I'm taking one of those guys. I feel like you just pray that people fall. All right, Colson Loveland here is interesting. I do like that. We probably do need to take a quarterback. This is probably triple disgusting. I mean, do we think Bryce Young falls back to us, or do we do this? This looks okay. Here's what's gonna happen. You guys are gonna be like, oh, gross. But if I don't take Bryce Young here, my only stacking options are Geno with a running back, which I'm fine doing. I have no problem with that because I'm betting on the offense still. And Tyler Shuck, insert Colts quarterback. That's it. Or tight end back stack. But I can still do that with like Jatavian Sanders. So this looks like a terrible pick, looks like a reach, but we made a bet that T.L. was going to fall. Didn't happen. So you play with the cards you're dealt. You don't get to do yourself new cards. Well, you do. You can start a new draft, but. Yo, what's up, Henry? How do you think about taxi slots? In my league, they can only be filled by rookies. I have guys like Woody Marks, Shark was on taxi. Should I drop guys like D-Hop to taxi guys like Riley Leonard? Ugh. Can you give me another option? I do not think Riley Leonard is worth a taxi. I would not roster Riley Leonard in any league. I do think that the Colts realistically are addressing the quarterback position next season, but I don't think that's with somebody like Riley Leonard. I think if the Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones experiment failed this season, the Colts are not turning to Riley Leonard. So I would rather take, I mean, give me some other running backs. Like I would rather, are there like JCM, Ja'Cory Carson-Merritt, Kyle Monangai, like some of these like 7th round running backs or interesting wide receivers. Like I know Deontay Thornton probably at this point has been picked up across leagues, but players like that I'd rather roster, or tight ends like Ronnie Gatson or something versus Riley Leonard. But yeah, if you have taxi squad spots, those need to be filled up. It's just free. It's just a free bet. So you're just kind of losing out on upside if you don't fill those. I like Bryce. There we go. Taxi squad sort rookies by percent roster and take the highest ones. True. You could look at the trending stuff too. I know that's big for a lot of like recent rookie drafts and stuff, or drafts that happened a long time ago and you realize that you can trade out players before the season starts. Recommend doing that. All right, how are we landing the plane? The plane landing is probably looking like this. 209. Oh, my boy's moving. Will has a decent amount of shuck. I guess 209's not that crazy. I feel like he was close to like to the end of the 210s, which doesn't feel like an insane jump late, but all right, we got some options here. Part of me, so I am going 3 quarterback, and the easiest quarterbacks to backstack are Cam Ward, just because Calvin Ridley is really the only pass catcher that you're kind of boxed out of. Could go Geno here. Cam Ward or Geno. This could be like a Geno Thornton team, and I stop at 7 wide receivers because I went so many early. Could also be a Colts team. Stafford is really hard to take. I'm just checking to see if I really want to take any of these. Jack Bash Geno is not the worst idea here. I know the buzz is all on Thornton. Maybe it's one of these running backs, though. All right, let's do this. Let's go Tank. I think Tank is a better runner. You could talk me into Roshan. I have taken a lot of Rico Dowdle. But I want to be making... I really want to leave one of my drafts with a Jags running back. because one of those players is smashing ADP. I don't know which one. But at the range they're going, ETN I like the least, but I still will take ETN. All right, so this is looking like a shucker. And wow, 192. That's what we're doing? Just off of this? I will say, if Thornton is just up against Trey Tucker and not up against, like, the expectation isn't having to beat out Jacoby, and Jack Bash is just not, the duplicative skill set stuff is actually the belief, I'm down. Tight end wise, I do like this range. So I could take one of these. It's 180. But like Jatavian. I like Theo Johnson. So I could see myself taking one of these two, preferring Jatavian just stack wise. Could be looking at, who else? Thielen goes. Where's Coker at? Is Coker hasn't gone, right? 210. I don't love taking Coker as much just because I do think there is route concerns with Thielen being brought back, Hunter Renfrow. 10 by 10, super flex, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 3 flex, picking at the 3rd spot. Daniels, BTJ, Ladd. RBs available are Hall, Kyron, Henderson, and CMC, who we grab in the front of this turn. Taxi slots do not count towards total roster slots. Bang. Can you let me know who the quarterback and wide receivers are as well? I like Hall, but I am very willing in a startup to push the running back position if I feel like I'm getting a really good value on a quarterback or a receiver. Like BTJ and Ladd is a banger start, and it does give you, I think, the flexibility to like hit a hero RB or something out of your startup. But I started my startup, my last one, and I brag about it all the time because I flippin' love this team. But I started Chase, Puka Nico, and I sleep like a baby. And my running backs are Chase Brown, James Conner, Kamara, J.K. Dobbins. And I feel great about it. All right. Wow, Rico falls back to us. I guess that's pretty close to his ADP. I do this little like freak out thing. Okay, Cade Otton to me feels like a great pick. Any haters? Man, I really want to take Rico here and be done at running back. Should I just do that? James Ford. Jerome Ford is not a bad pick. But I think we go Rico just for stacking purposes. Let's go Rico. Let's not go Thornton. I think we hope Shuck falls back to us. Could go Cade Otton here. Or it could be talked into. No, I don't. I'll just go Cade Otton. Let's get some routes. We'll get some routes at the tight end position with our upside bet. Does this feel crazy to people? This feels crazy to me. Colson Loveland at 132, a tight end that went that high in an offense where I think people are overconfident on what the target distribution is going to look like. Seems crazy to me. All right, I'm liking the way this team's turning out. I think we're landing the plane. The only annoying thing is we really want to make sure that one of the tight ends, I guess it's just going to be Jatavian Sanders because you can't make me take Michael Mayer. All right, have taxi filled. I'm just wondering your approach to it. I can move Jarquez under up to the active roster, drop T-Hop, Vele, Sean Tucker type guys, like Quint Allen or Mafa. Can you get anything in trades for those guys? Like D-Hop, I don't think D-Hop is like worth a roster spot unless it's like a very deep format where you would bet on like a 2 reception touchdown game. Like that would matter for you with how deep the rosters are. But I do not care about LaQuint Allen. Maffa is the type of running back that I would roster if it didn't mean I was dropping other players that I thought mattered or could matter. Yeah, if those are the most interesting running backs, are there any who are the most interesting tight ends and wide receivers? I'm not going to ask you quarterbacks because you said Riley Leonard was the example. So I'm going to assume quarterbacks are bad. Hunter, Wilson, Rice, Higgins, and Murray, Mayfield, Purdy, Ward, McCarthy. I am not going to push my Travis Hunter agenda onto you, and I don't want to. Garrett Wilson gets a big contract, so I can see myself taking Garrett Wilson. I don't mind. I guess I don't mind taking one of those running backs. Like Rashee Rice is probably tough for you to feel great about picking, but that probably would have been my pick. And I wouldn't want to move him too far down in Dynasty based off of what I expect to be like a 6-game suspension. But if I was on the clock, I'm probably taking Hunter unless I felt like I was going to get boxed out of quarterback. Because I've seen Purdy go late 4th, early 5th in startups. So I've always just been attacking that range at the quarterback spot. All right, I think we are going to get... Dude, there's just no way. Do you really need Tyler Shuck on a Drake, May, and Daniels team, brother? That Tyler Shuck going to be hitting your lineup? If Tyler Shuck is consistently hitting your lineup on a Jane Daniels, Drake May team, God help us all. All right, and I can't even go Colts quarterback. Daniel Jones goes too. Daniel to a Josh Allen, Justin Herbert team, man. Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Got to get that James Cook, or got to get that Daniel Jones stacked with my Alec Pierce. Sorry guys, I'm just tilting because I'm getting boxed out hard. All right, Ann Thornton goes. All right, one of these picks, I guess, is Jatavian Sanders. And maybe I just stop crying. Guys, is it Spencer Rattler season? The answer is no. All right, who do we even take here? It's got to be a wide receiver. I like Tutu. Jalen Royals is not a bad pick. Deontay Johnson is not a bad pick. Bryce Young, Geno. Can a Bryce Young, Geno team? Here's the only thing that sucks. I think there is a world where I made this bet and it works out for me. But there are just going to be, if Geno is actually what you need, like he is the mid-round quarterback that smashed, you need Jacoby or Brock Bowers, and I don't have that on those team. This was a backstack because I got boxed out of T-Law. Oh! Thank you. Waffle Hauser, $4.99. Super chat. Don't get mad, get glad. Also, say something nice about my GOAT, Garrett Wilson. Hey, this guy's on the clock. You heard the man. Or what man? You heard the Waffle Hauser. Go get yourself some Garrett Wilson, bro. I said I would pick him. I'd honestly take any of those receivers. Hunter Wilson, Rice. I wouldn't bat an eye on either of those. And then I probably would lean Kyler. But I probably would just push quarterback if you want to go hero RB. I was crashing out. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Much love. Waffle Hauser, if you want a special sound effect, these two, the air horn, this is one I just thought needed to be on the soundboard in some capacity. And then this is shut up Big Diaz. This was the Diaz pick. Yeah, we'll get you in here. I think you're leading the league in super chats. I don't want to double dip in Jackson side BTJ. Otherwise, I would grab Hunter. Yeah, I think that double dipping is a little bit overrated in Like, no one would bat an eye at double dipping Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Some people would even say it's like a good thing. But I get it. Like, I don't think you need to force. I don't think you need to force it either way. I think stacking is fine to do or ignore in Dynasty. I don't have like a hard take. I can't say just stopping by, moving in the military training for 10 weeks. Dang. Thank you for your service. Everyone, get a thank you for your service in the chat. Respect the troops. I do this. I hope you know when I do this. Actually, let me know. As a military trainee, I like a nice salute, a little sign of respect. I hope nobody ever takes it as disrespectful for the service. Thank you. We got one in there. Heck yeah. Like Garrett Wilson this year. I do too. I think I like him for ADP. Like, I think he'll get pushed out in rookie drafts, in redraft leagues. In Dynasty, it's kind of hard to like make the bet for this year just because the Dynasty value, especially post contract, is pushed up. Hell yeah. Decide to trade. You got any moves potentially on the clock? Like, that's an interesting range where I could see somebody wanting to trade up for one of those players and like getting to trade back and like still be able to hit quarterback or any of those. Like, if you really want to go running back, I'm sure somebody would want to trade up for one of those wide receivers based off of your start, and you could hit running back, quarterback, or take your favorite of those receivers. I'd be curious. Let me know if you got something in there. Yo, Michael, what is up? Love your show. Yes, bless America. And our brave soldiers. Yes, thank you. Shout out to Michael. Follow me on Twitter. Everyone take notes and follow me on Twitter. For real. Isaiah Bond and Mumfield are the best receivers. Mitchell Evans. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, that's fair. These are reasonable questions. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably, like, if it's a deep enough league where you could see yourself, D-Hop week 1 has like 4 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. If you can trade him, I would hold D-Hop for sure. That's not going to happen, but like D-Hop will be running routes in the red zone for that Ravens team in some capacity. All right, I was thinking about doing a super flex, but I kind of want to hit another puppy just because I did not feel great about how that one landed. Oh, also, sorry, I realized that I didn't show you the bottom of the board. My bad, guys. Bad streamer. Bad streamer. We'll get it this time, guys. We're improving. Every stream, we improve. The 12 spot again. This should not be allowed. Back to back turn. All right, what do we learn? How do we adapt? How do we grow from the 12th spot? What do we learn? What did we wish? I did like the way that I built that team. I think I just got a little bit, I don't want to say unlucky. Like, my thing with like getting unlucky in best ball drafts is it's only unlucky if you were really, really pushing. Or no. It's not unlucky if you were really pushing something to happen, you're hoping to get lucky. Like, when you push Burrow from his ADP, like, I know sometimes people start Chase T and Burrow goes pick 60, but they try to push him at this turn like all the way to 72. Like, you're asking a lot of people to pass on a quarterback that everyone expects to project well, even if you think it's stupid for someone to take him unstacked. So I think I got not unlucky, but I didn't get moderately lucky with pushing T-Law and hoping that the Travis Hunter drafter who took Kyler Murray didn't take him. But I'm going to hope for the wide receiver start here. Let's get our boy Brees on this roster, guys. Little wide receiver start. Get Brees. CMC at the 4. I like CMC, man. I do. But isn't Jahmyr Gibbs just CMC but younger and not hurt? I guess like the workload bet based off of the past 2 seasons. But man, wouldn't you want to take the best running back in the league? I said it. Who's the best running back in the league? And don't be given. I will say I'll pay respects where they're due, with like the big dogs, Derrick Henry. Like I will put those names in the conversation, but be for real. Best running back in the league. You get one running back for a game. Who do you want? Not pure fantasy, just pure running back. All right, let's hope we get one of these receivers. I'm a big Nico guy. So is Smarks. All right, let me get my boy. At least let me get one Amon-Ra team here. Come on, don't you want that Genty? That rookie? Yeah. All right, Amon-Ra. And then I kind of want to go double wide receiver. Let's do I'm big on Drake London. It's not even a bye week thing to me. I do kind of want to try a double wide receiver start, just because I am willing to take a middle range of running backs when people are trying to catch up at the position. Bowers at 15. I don't hate it. Bowers on DK is crazy to me. If you guys aren't familiar, DraftKings Best Ball is PPR. It's a little bit different too, because there's like 100-yard game bonuses, 300-yard passing bonuses for the quarterbacks, but it is PPR. And Brock Bowers goes later on PPR site versus half PPR. The ADPs are pretty wonky, just in general on DK. Silly pickles. All right, this will probably be the last draft here, guys. I might be getting old. My wrist just started hurting today. Oof. Last time to get off D-Hop was the Chiefs signing. It was the Chiefs signing, and it was that one game he had. He had like one game where he caught, I think it was like his like third or fourth game or something. He had like a 6 for something and a touchdown. It's in the right offense. Okay, interesting. I could see it. Man, I just will say, like, I mean, Bijan has plays like this too. I think Bijan and Gibbs both have plays like this where they like a cut they make. Honestly, Bijan's contact balance is pretty crazy. In a Superflex 10 team, start 10, 3 wide receiver, PPR Dynasty, I have Henry, Genty, Neighbors, London Pickens, JMO. The trade is trade away Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, Judy, and a 26 first for Kyron, BTJ, and Geno. 10 team, start 10. I'm leaning yes. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. Like Kyron Henry, I'm fine with. Judy and yeah, I'm doing that. Judy and a first for BTJ and Geno. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, do that. Even though it's shallow, it is a 10 team is kind of interesting because that first is guaranteed to be like a top 8 to 10 pick. But man, anytime I can lock in like a BTJ range receiver and it's only costing me 1 first and like a similar range player exchange, I'm doing that. Also, I realized I was behind on chats because I had scrolled up and I was like, nobody's chatting, dang. I was starting to talk about my wrist that was hurting. Let's go. CrossFit Use Headset, let's go. Yeah, let me know. Keep me updated. Can't believe CMC is going so high right now. Yeah, he's closer. I think his ADP is like 7-8. But yeah, I've seen him go as early as 3 or 4. He just went 4 in this one. All right, we're coming up here. We had the 2 wide receiver start. Quarterback wise, I will take my boy. You cannot stop me from taking Brees. I do like Hampton too. I've been willing to take Hampton as early as the start of the 4th. But I can't not take Lamar if Lamar is here. I just can't. How do you not take Lamar? Look at the blurb. Set to succeed in 2025. True. Okay. All right. How is it not Brees? I could be talked into. McMillan is probably the only receiver I would feel excited to take at this point. Wow, where did Rice go here? Yikes. Do we think that Talk... Does he know? Did you see that Batman? Garrett is going to eat well this year. I kind of believe it. I think it's somewhere in the middle with the Justin Fields as a running back hate and they have chemistry from college when it was like the smallest sample. Take Brees. There we go. We got a ball nowhere in the chat, guys. You know who else is going to eat? Brees Hall. I'm going Bijan or Gibbs. I'm with you. I'm probably going Bijan or Gibbs. I want to give the respect to a healthy Christian McCaffrey. But I think Bijan and Gibbs comfortably at this point in the season have surpassed the like oldie but goodies. Saquon deserves to be in the conversation, but like pure dynamic. Like, bro, you put Bijan in that Eagles offense. Woo. I don't want to say it with Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs also would smash, but Gibbs, I think, is smashing in his role in the Lions offense. No, you're good. You're good. Kids are asleep, hopefully. Getting back to Wilson and Hall with Fields at quarterback. Do we see more Hall dump-offs, or do we see Fields and Wilson reconnecting from their college days? Okay, I do think the college day stuff is kind of tough. It's pretty small sample, but like obviously it's not a negative thing for those two to have played together before. My thing is it's somewhere in the middle. Okay, so as far as like more Brees dump offs, I do think that Brees is like a plus running back. Like Brees is one of those running backs that can downfield reception guy. Justin Fields throws to the running backs more than people expect if you look at the numbers. I know a lot of people tend to associate like running quarterbacks with never checking down to the running backs, but a lot of times the mobility aspect of that with quarterbacks that are willing to do that is a plus. Aaron Rodgers was kind of a dump down king. Dump down king. That's something. Should put that on a t-shirt. So yeah, I think my thing is, regardless of how we feel about like tendencies, everything I just talked about, it is hard for me to believe that the Jets have a 15% plus target share player that is not named Brees Hall or Garrett Wilson currently on the roster. Like, it's hard for me to put Allen Lazard. Mason Taylor's a rookie and a tight end. I think the only way that Brees does not hit expectations this year, going where he's going, you see I just got him here at the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, is if the Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis experience is real, and I just don't think that those guys hold a candle to Brees Hall, even though I know it's a disappointing season last year. I can't trust CMC to take him in the first round. I might regret it, but many favorite. Yeah, that's my thing too. It's like, what are you missing when you miss? If CMC hits, it's like CeeDee Lamb, Puka, Malik Neighbors. Like, I am fine missing on a CMC smash season for those guys. Did Isaiah Davis die? Bruh. Just please miss me with Isaiah Davis. I don't think it's like 80% pre-snap share, but man. I don't want to. I do think the offensive line is improved, and I think that helps Brees way more than it helps the other running backs based off of what we saw last season. Every stream has to turn into a Will defending Brees. Czar's going to the Steelers. That's been the thing, man. All right, wide receiver here. I don't mind. Oh, okay. All right, I haven't taken a lot of Rome, and I will continue to do it. This guy started 3 receivers. Ooh, he goes Olave. All right, I will go Rome here. Don't care about the bye weeks. And I think I want to go running back. So let's go Rome. All right, last draft we took Travion. I love me some James Conner. I'm not buying the Trey Benson. We have 2 RB1 FUD that that big fantasy is pushing. Give me my James Conner. He put the knee injury behind him. Do you guys see the blurb? There we go. That's what I like to hear. Still fielding offers? Yeah, I think that's a good spot to take call. I also think we're underplaying the Rodgers offense pace stuff and what rushing quarterbacks do for running back efficiency. And I think the offensive line is going to be improved this year. I think Isaiah Davis may steal some goal line touches. I think Braylon Allen is the goal line touch stealer, and I could see that. I just think that Braylon Allen is very overrated. And that's saying a lot for somebody who is, I'm not saying he's rated very highly by people, but I think the expectation is like David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, where I think it's closer to Roschon Johnson, DeAndre Swift, which, as I say it out loud, doesn't sound like a very bullish breakdown of Brees Hall, but I'm just talking more the comparison between the two players and my expectations for what the coaching staff will do. But I'm also a big bag Brees Hall defender, so I might be bag holding here. Bag defending. 10 watching at 6 likes. You other 4, go drop a like for him doing love these drafts with us. All right, that's on me reading that, but it was very sweet, and I appreciate it. I was trying to do all right, the live drafts. That's what got me, because I saw love, and my brain was like, he loves something about this, and I want to figure out what he loves. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the live love. Guys, what do you anyone that's here right now, these are kind of like the special, interaction moments with Will. Anything you all want to see as far as the startup, the Daddy League stuff. I think it would be cool to, maybe it's during the live streams or maybe it's on these Thursday night streams, we do check-in on the drafts where I pull up the draft boards and we can look at what moves have happened, what teams are looking like through the leagues. I think it'd be pretty cool. Let's talk Jags. ETN, Bigsby, Tootin, or Tootin, ETN, Bigsby. All right, I think it is a little bit different. I mean, Dynasty and Best Ball are kind of different conversations because it's a 1-season sample. But right now it is, and I'm just doing the price thing where ETN goes 97, Tootin goes 132, and Bigsby goes 160. So they're all kind of 30 picks apart. For me, Tootin's been the one that I've drafted the most, just purely off of the this was the running back the coaching staff picked. These are I think Bigsby was more efficient than ETN last season. You could point to some injury stuff. There's been some positive reports about ETN getting the first crack, but a lot of that stuff is just naturally the positive coach speak that Liam Cohen will give when it's of course a coach is going to say a positive thing about a running back on their team. What coach is going to be nah, he sucks. That's why we drafted a guy in the 4th. So we're hoping he can take over that role. That's just not something a coach is going to say out loud. Will, how do you, what a great question. And let me answer you in about 3 picks. Hold that thought. And anybody that's also interested can hold it with Michael here. let's get ready here. All right. Unfortunately, or fortunately, one of these picks does have to be a wide receiver. So Amon-Ra, London, Odunze, Reed goes. I like Downs. Shakir is a fine pick. I've been taking Pacheco as he's fallen, just in terms of, like, if you think, in my opinion, if you look at all these running backs and you think back to which one is like, wow, how are we not taking this guy 2 rounds earlier? I think Pacheco is the name that jumps out to me, just as a, oh, he was down. Oh, and we talk about him, we get him here. I don't mind going Mooney and triple stacking the offense. Double stacking with Penix. But I already have Lamar, so I don't feel like I need to force like triple stacking. I do not have a Lamar pass catcher, but I think maybe this is one of the drafts where I actually take Andrews if he falls back to us here at this one. Mooney's fine. I'm fine with Shakir there over Igbuka, but I have been taking a lot of Igbuka, and I will continue to. And you can't stop me. Dude, we are back. We are back, guys. You know, like, I know we all feel this way, and I can't communicate this with everybody because there are people who like football, right? I'm sure you're all in home league redrafts where it's the only league that those guys are in with you or gals, and they get excited about it and they like football season. But I know that for us Dynasty Degens, it is so much different. The happiness you feel, I don't know what time zone you're in, but the happiness Will feels in his brain when it is 12:45 and the 1 p.m. games are about to start and he's in his dungeon right here. I don't know if you can see. There's a TV over there. We can't really see it. I'll get you a different angle here. All right, I did the thing. So there's a big TV up here. You can see the corner of it. The Lions game's on there. This monitor up here, you can't see it, but I can, and it's going to have football on it. These 2 monitors I've got my hands on, are all showing the football games. What in the world? We are back. We are so back. Do you guys do a live stream of team reviews? I see the banner on the site, but haven't looked into it yet. Yeah, that is a good question. So those are, if you submit a roster review, Jeremy does the roster reviews, and he streams. It's like a private recording of himself doing the roster review, and that is posted privately and shared with the roster review submission person. So that would be interesting if, like, maybe that's something in the future, if there's like a recommendation or a request for, you know, you could you do this live or a YouTube video, or maybe it's like a separate thing than the roster reviews. I'd be down to work through, figure that out. That'd be cool. All right, this is probably my first. I don't think I've drafted Mark Andrews this year, but these are the kind of teams I want to. Like, we're probably looking at Mark Andrews, Bateman. Maybe this is D-Hop late. Mooney over Downs. I feel like Atlanta has better defense and offense. Yeah, purely offensive wise, I think the role Mooney's in, I feel more confident in giving me spike weeks than Josh Downs. But I am a big Josh Downs guy. I like both of them, and I am betting on it being Daniel Jones. And I think, like, Anthony Richardson, in my opinion, is better for the Alec Pierces and Adonai Mitchells of the Colts offense. But I think that Daniel Jones is better for the Michael Pittmans and Josh Downses. Do you have a TV in your bathroom too? No, we have a TV in the bedroom. We have a TV in the living room. And then I have technically 4. If you're counting 2 of my computer monitors, TVs in the office. It's called The Office, but this is the Will Dungeon. Ooh, West Coast. Yeah, what does the West Coast feel like? It's interesting. I will say, and maybe I'm definitely biased, but I love the night games being like a crisp, like, those are like 8:15. I stay up late naturally too. Oh, Mark Andrews, really? We're going Mark Andrews here, huh? Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, but you don't have Lamar. That's fine. 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 Okay. Coming up in here, it's okay. Not a big deal. We can, unfortunately, we probably are taking Bateman with one of these picks. I guess not unfortunately. It's not a big deal. I don't mind taking Caleb and then being done at quarterback, but you could talk me into. The nice thing about taking that Pacheco follower there is I don't feel the need to force one of these running backs. Like, I feel kind of fine with that stable. So this could just be Caleb Bateman or Caleb Burden. But I've seen, I mean, Burden's not going to fall. Let's take Caleb. I kind of regret that pick, honestly. Maybe this should have just been 2 wide receivers with yeah, I think that was a bad pick. Guys, I'm willing to admit when the pick was bad. Okay, here's what happened there. We're not taking another quarterback for the rest of the draft. And the reason I regret this pick is I got excited about this pick here that could happen here. 132. If Loveland falls here, all is right in the world and we're okay. But this probably should have been 2 wide receivers. It should have been like, honestly, even without Caleb, it should have been like Burden, Bateman. Amon-Ra, London, Rome. I mean, I guess like we already have Ibuka. I'm fine with like Caleb, Rome, Loveland. If we get to pick Loveland, then all is well in the world, and that pick wasn't bad. But if we don't, it was a terrible pick. All right, how do we feel about Jalen Royals after this Rice news? Yeah, I mean, I think my expectations for the Rice news is around a 4-6 game suspension, but obviously I'm kind of just BSing there, just guessing based off of what I've seen and heard, what I expect people to understand more about the legal situation than me. And not even the legal situation, but the way that the NFL will approach it. But I mean, it's just naturally a good thing if, you know, the Chiefs are expecting to be out without a receiver and be more willing to, you know, maybe give rookies cracks. I will say that I feel like Andy Reid has definitely been slow to get rookies not involved in camp, but involved in the actual like we saw like the Rice roll early. Worthy took a little bit of time, but. And obviously, where they were drafted, the expectation was that they were being more involved with based off of where Jalen Rose was drafting. But let's not forget, I don't want to invoke his name. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about to say Hollywood Brown. Yes, Hollywood Brown on the roster. How about Juju still on the Chiefs roster? That feels like the more one-to-one replacement for Rice in that role specifically than Jalen Royals. But it's definitely not a bad thing. North Georgia, via Long Island, G-Men for life. Ooh, okay. All right. Let's get it. Heck yeah. Yeah, I would be down. I mean, we kind of do like mini roster review previews on the trade shows when we're pulling up the teams. But I will say it is hard to really dig into rosters and like really look at moves you can make across your leagues. And if you're, you know, looking at a rookie draft or something, it's hard to do a full breakdown on those trade shows just because we have, you know, there's 30 people in the stream and there's people that are asking a lot of questions that we want to get to and make sure we're not skipping out of. But yeah, that'd be fun. Heck yeah. Andrew's on a mission. Plus you're healthier. I agree. And also in best ball, you know, people will point to like the good production last year being touchdowns, but I'm fine with my tight end being in an efficient offense that scores touchdowns. Loveland's growing maybe more every day. I know. I think it's like crazy to me that he goes in this range. Like, I guess it's fine, but when he's backed up against like Dalton Kincaid, dude, I am just getting sniped so hard. It's brutal. It's brutal out here, man. I'm going to cry, guys. And that made this pick bad. Now this pick is bad. Bad pick. Bad will. It's fine. All right, we probably, gosh, and this is why it was bad. Is look at these receivers. Actually, I don't mind QJ. I don't mind QJ post Mike Williams retirement. It's probably. I know it's so hard for me to have a full understanding of how long legal processes take, because when like that Rice news broke initially, your brain automatically goes to the next season, but you just understand that the NFL waits out the legal process, and the legal process is so insanely long. I might double tap running back here. I think these are two like really, really good fallers. Like this, I would love my running back rooms to look like this. And I know you might be thinking tight ends looking rough, Will. True. But I'll tell you what. Nothing a little Jake Ferguson, Hunter Henry, and Theo Johnson can't fix. How about this? How about a little Cole Kmet there? Actually, I shouldn't do this because it's going to auto him. I regret not grabbing shares of him in my previous rookie drafts. I will say I'm still on the train of avoiding the elite tight ends, the rookie tight ends in formats that are less than like 0.5 tight end premium or less. I probably would rather take the running backs or Ibuka, but I think you could talk me into it in 0.5 tight end premium, definitely higher, 0.75 or full point. I definitely think that there's a role or a world where those are like the most valuable pieces in that range. I'm a Michigan guy too. Hey, let's go. Yes. Yeah, likely is you could have talked me into taking likely there instead of those two running backs, but I think they were just such good picks there. I mean, likely could fall here. Probably not. If I will say that I probably would have clicked over on the tight end screen, and instead of QJ, I would have taken like if Tajay wasn't there, it probably would have been Tootin likely. And I mean, maybe it still should have been. But I just love being done at running back. Just because I feel like if you start getting into this range, yeah, I guess these are good picks. Honestly, there's a couple late running backs I do really still like. Yeah, likely goes. Is it this freaking guy? No, it's not. All right, never mind. I was going to yell at him. Yeah, the Caleb Williams pick was bad. Hunter Henry with 10 touchdowns this year. The even year numbers. Yeah, I think in best ball too. My only thing is that some of these running backs that you can talk yourself into and really like could end up being zeros. But honestly, that doesn't really start until people start talking themselves into like Marshawn Lloyd. Like, these are fine picks in best ball, but I think when you can eat the zero, they're fine. They're not fine when you are like really banking on them to be consistent, because it's just hard to believe that a lot of these running backs in this range are like the reason that you are winning your pod. All right, what are we doing here? This could be a wide receiver. Man, I just every round that goes by, I regret this Caleb Williams pick. All right. Is this Josh Palmer, Brenton Strange, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry? I almost would rather just go triple gross tight end. Maybe I do need to take like Hunter Henry or something here. Yeah, it should be a tight end. I was dragging up Hunter Henry, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, it's fine. Aren't you looking for upside in late rounds of best ball? Yes. Yes. I do think there is I'm trying to remember the point I was making. Was I talking about the running backs you're taking? I think so it depends on what exactly that's in reference to. So for me, I mean this pick is bad regardless. But I'm more talking about with this running back build. Like let's say I didn't go these two running backs, and my running backs are Breece Hall, James Conner, Pacheco, and like Jarquez Hunter, Marshawn Lloyd, Rashard Smith. And I'm like, Rashard Smith's not a good example because I have Pacheco, but let's say my two running backs are Marshawn Lloyd, Jarquez Hunter, and I'm like, sick. I got three running backs that could really be good this year in Breece, Conner, Pacheco, and I got my two upside bets. We're chilling. But the way that's like upside, yes, but I think that people tend to not look at the big picture and they don't look at the granular picture of week to week. If you open the app and you look at your best ball team and you think about how many points those running backs are scoring, how likely is it that one, you're getting the consistent Breece Hall, Conner, Pacheco every single week are giving me good enough running back production to align with the teams that took a hero RB in like Genti that's smashing or Gibbs or Bijan or whatever and have like a similar decent running back core outside of that. And I just think people need to like think about the logistics of what your lineup looks like week to week scoring wise. And I think if you eat too many zeros, this is kind of the upside thing. If you eat too many zeros at the back end of your draft, like it's fine to have like a couple zeros. Like that is totally fine. But I think when you're banking on those zeros, if they're not zeros, if you're banking on those zeros to be like meaningful, consistent production based off of how you're building out your team, I don't think you need to like force yourself to building that. And I think some people think they have to. Some people think they have to have the perfect draft when if you like construct your team decent, which I have not. This should have been a wide receiver so that I didn't have to take Josh Palmer there, or I have 7 wide receivers, but I can be done at running back, which is nice. I kind of talked in circles there, but we got there. Be brave and take Noah Gray. Hey, I mean, Kelsey retires? Because no, Kelsey doesn't even need to retire. Noah Gray gave you weeks last season, I will say. But they got that other tight end there too. All right, I like Darius Slayton. I like Cade Otton. I'm fine with Mason Taylor. I'm fine with Chig. I like Michael Wilson too. Michael Wilson is probably the cheapest routes you can get in best ball. This is probably a D-Hop team too, huh? Is this a D-Hop team? All right. The last 4 picks are probably, this is probably a 2. I think I'm done at running back. It's probably a 2, 5, 7, 3. All right, Jerome Ford. Let's go. Let's go Michael Wilson. Let's really strongly think about this tight end. pick. Do we need to take D-Hop? I think I'd rather take Cade Otton. This will be the second straight Cade Otton draft. I just think that the addition of Egbuka and people's expectations for like that crowded receiving room does not factor in the routes that Cade Otton is still going to run for that team. Jalen Lane. I like Wandale into 7 yards per catch. Wandale is... I will take Wandale a decent amount on DK just because the PPR scam can hit your lineup decently. But in like half PPR, it is brutal. It is just hard to bet on a player like Wandale. Especially when they re-sign Slayton. Which is kind of funny to say that like Slayton does that to Wandale. But as far as like touchdown upside... I'm a big Theo Johnson guy. For better or for worse. There we go. Oh. Bang. Rod Naughton. Hey, I will say at this range, you could talk me into, I know Mason Taylor just went there. Chig with the updated, with the upgraded QB room. I like a lot of these guys though. I've been kind of alternating like the gross tight end range when I'm going triple tight end. But to me, oh, I don't know if I can I do this? I like never do this. Hey, come on. Continues to improve. The ball just finds him, man. Look at that. I mean, Otton is like not, it feels like a pretty sexless pick. But to me, with like Chris Godwin already injured, with Mike Evans the age he's at, I feel like Cade Otton just still will run a decent amount of routes for a team that I'm excited about their offense. I do like Chig. I've been taking Chig a decent amount. Honestly, I need to like when I'm in these drafts too. I need to put away my biases or at least call them out. Not biases, but my my shares I've already taken. Because I have taken a decent amount of Chig, specifically on DK. I've been taking a lot of Chig. I'm not too concerned about the Gunner Helm in any capacity. Now with the depth of receivers on the Bucs, I can't do on. That's just me. Rather my man Theo. I do like Theo a lot. I mean, he's in the queue right now. That's my favorite gross last tight end pick. All right, this is a tight end, and maybe it's a 4 tight end build. Can we stop at 7 receivers? Like, do any of these receivers excite you enough to not just go 4 tight ends? I kind of like the people are afraid to do 4 tight ends. Not me. I'll do it. You can't stop me. A 2-5-7-4? Come on. I mean, Terrence Ferguson is probably... Oh, it's Cole Kmet. I forgot. It's just these two. Bang. There we go. The Caleb Williams pick wasn't bad. We stacked with Cole Kmet. All right, this is the way to do it, man. People are afraid of the 4 tight end build. I'm revolutionizing the game. I love the aiming to stay healthy. That's my favorite blurb about a player. All right. Was the plane landed after my regretful Caleb Williams pick? We'll find out here. All right. I love any team I get Lamar on. Any 2 QB Lamar team makes me happy. I like this running back room a lot. I think it's the perfect combo of like confident, bankable touches. This is the perfect team I want to take Pacheco on because I think like Pacheco hitting for this team is really nice because these don't necessarily need to be smashes. These can be like upside weekly hits. And we got to stop at 5 with this team, which I love doing. If I can stop at 5 without taking an early running back, I feel like really good about the running back room. Amon-Ra, Drake London, Rome, Egbuka, Bateman, Palmer, Wilson. We did the 4 tight end. Brenton Strange, K. Nott, and Theo Johnson. Cole Kmet, which I think is underrated on these kind of teams where the wide receiver I would have taken would have been like Keenan Allen, like a rookie tight end that could be close to a 0, or a wide receiver that could be close to a 0. Like Jalen Royals, I think people will steam up. Malik Washington, I have been taking a decent amount. DeAndre Johnson, I'd be fine with, but I'm not going to act like any of these guys are must picks. Makes you happy, true. And you know what? This did make me happy. I felt like the plane was landed. I appreciate you all, specifically you, Michael, as it's the only name I can see in the chat currently. Much love. Definitely, if you guys are not in the startup leagues, we will be posting and adding everyone probably for the Tuesday night streams as a reminder. But if you head over to the Join a Daddy League channel, you can fill out the Google form to join one of these leagues. $20 yearly entry, 12x10 Superflex 0.75 tight end premium. We will fill out the teams probably August. We'll probably have those. Early August, we'll get those leagues set up and get those startups started. And the play, oh, I love hearing that. And please, guys, please watch the new best startup values best pick. Maybe play it through the night when you're sleeping tonight. Just have that thing play. No, but try to check it out if you haven't. I appreciate it. Thank you, Diaz. The plane was landed. It was landed with some regret. That Caleb pick, if I could take that back. I just need to like remove the quarterback tab in those middle ranges when I feel like I'm getting a value, especially when I've taken like running backs early like a Brees, just because I feel like it makes my wide receiver room feel gross. If I went early quarterback, early running back, at least I didn't go early tight end. I've done that before, where you get so excited about the onesie positions, like you take an early quarterback, you take a Kittle, you feel like confident in, and you took a running back, and you're like, bro, I'm banking on Josh Downs smashing this season, not just like giving me good weeks, but smashing. That gets a little yikes. We all do it. Yeah, we've been there. Hey, I mean, it's best ball, right? We all are gonna look back on some of these draft streams. We're gonna be in week 4 of the season. I'm gonna rewatch one of these streams and be like, what the hell were you doing, man? I might say that to myself tonight when I rewatch. No, I'm just kidding. I love when I have 3 QB, wide receiver, or tight end stacks. Yeah, I think skinny stacks are underrated, but I think there are certain. I think it's all about like certain builds. Like if you build your team out in a way where you feel like confident, like Michael, I love a Michael Penix Mooney London stack. Like if I'm banking on Penix, the way I built out my quarterback room, like maybe it's a triple quarterback and it's middle ranges. Like I didn't touch quarterback until like it's like Geno, Penix, and like I got a good value on like Caleb Williams or something. Like I like those kind of teams that are skinny stacks with like 2 consolidated targets, because I feel like that hitting specifically, like Mooney and London having smash seasons with Penix, means so much more for my team than forcing other triple stacks just to feel like I have the upside of a stack in a best ball league. Ooh, quick little startup trade offer before Will hits the potty. Got an offer for my 408 to his 5-6 turn. Wait, like is that the 5-12 6-1? Do you have to give anything back with that? That's interesting. Oh, it's 10 team 5-10 6-1. I could see myself doing that. I know, Diaz, I will say I was hovering over the Superflex and I was like, man, if Diaz sent me like a bark or something in the chat, German Shepherd, I would have done it. Next week I'll hit a Superflex for you. If it's still there, probably. B Diaz is a legend. True. Any truers in chat? He's willing to add on. Ooh. Yeah, I definitely hear that out. Like it's hard to trade back, but I feel like with the quarterbacks you said were on the board, especially if you feel confident in your ability to move around the board, if you feel like you need to trade up slightly to make sure you don't get boxed out of quarterback. But I just feel like the quarterback positions in startups make me such more confident in trading back in ranges where I typically would stick and pick, like Kyler, for example. I feel more confident in trading back because I can get Purdy or whatever. Heck yeah. Yeah, if you guys have any requests of like being in leagues with people for like the Daddy Club, hey, what are they called? The Daddy Leagues. Yes, for sure, 100%. And if they're on the board too. 10 team is interesting too. I mean, I feel like you can get boxed out less in a 10 team, and I would rather kind of get the value and be able to. But I will say I wouldn't trade back too much after that point, just because in these shallow leagues, you want to make sure you're really kind of bending someone over the barrel on those trade backs for them to get the better asset in a super shallow league. But I know you know that. All right, appreciate you all. Much love. Join the Daddy Club. Fill out the Google form. Join the Daddy League. Fill out the Google form. See you next Tuesday. Text your mom. I love you. Have a good night. Appreciate you all. See ya next Tuesday. See ya in the Discord.